call the meeting to order. And my name is Stephen Leach, and I'm chairman. And we're gonna ask Mitch if he'll do an invocation. So if everybody will stand.
Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we are thankful for this opportunity that we just have to come together and to represent the city of Eastridge. We're thankful that we're able to serve our fellow citizens, and I just pray that you would be with the conversations this evening, be with decisions made, that they would be the best interest of the growth of our city. Thank you again, and just be with each one of those present. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. Okay, let's do a roll call.
Chairperson Leach.
Here.
Board Member Buck. Here. Board Member Paris. Here. Board Member Qualls.
Here.
Board Member Sharp.
Okay, thanks everybody for being here. Seriously, it's great that you can be here. We do have minutes provided to us by the staff. We'll give you all just a moment to review those minutes of March 9th, 2026, and there were we had one case, as I recall. So have you had time to review, and would somebody like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Have a motion, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Have a motion second, any further discussion?
I would abstain. I've not been there.
No, you're fine, as long as you reviewed it. Yeah. All in favor of approving the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. We do have two cases on the docket tonight. Before we go over there to the docket, I am gonna, because we do have somebody in the audience that's not a regular attendee, I'm gonna go over kind of the rules that we follow for this meeting. We're just citizens of Eastridge, and we're not paid members of the staff. There are paid members of the staff here. Our purpose is to hear and decide on appeals from the standards of the zoning ordinance. And this is the zoning ordinance that we utilize, and it was adopted in 1989 and there's been several amendments to that adopted ordinance. The standards for the variances are practical difficulty and unnecessary hardship. Another standard is hardship must be due to unique circumstance that is particular or peculiar to the lot. The hardship must not be self-created, and any variance granted must not result in detriment to the public health, safety, or welfare. We are quasi-judicial, which means we can make decisions on the law. We can make based on our investigations and review of the zoning ordinance. We do not have any punitive authority, and we cannot enforce the standards. That's done strictly through the city. Our decisions are final and binding. If you have a grievance against our decision, then you must take it to a court of competent jurisdiction, which is not the city of Eastridge City Court, nor is it the Eastridge City Council. It's one of the state courts downtown. Has the hearing been properly advertised?
Yes.
Okay, the way we normally do the format on the hearing is we go over the application. The staff will give us a brief update on the application. We can ask some questions of staff, and then we go, whichever case you're representing, we will call you to present your case, and we'll ask questions, and then we always try to make a decision tonight. We don't want to have to come back to review a older case, but we have been known to do that. And the first case on the docket is VR 26-4, Bryant Hinton. It's at 1207 Spring Creek Road. And this case is for a side yard variance on a corner lot. It's stipulated in Article 6, Supplemental Regulations and Exceptions, subsection 100, Area Regulations G. On corner lots in all districts, the side yard requirements on the street side shall be the same as the front yard requirements. Where a corner lot was a separate lot of record at the time of passage of this ordinance, the following minimum side yards on the street shall apply. And it's if the front is 60.1 feet or more, there's a 25-foot requirement. And as I understand it, Mike, on this one, they're requesting a 16-foot setback from Prater Road, which would be a 9-foot variance. So I should have asked, which case are you here for, sir?
Not this one.
Okay, good. Mike, I did look at some of the information on this. I mean, it's obviously a lot of record, and it is on a corner lot. Is there anything peculiar? I think the house, there was 3 lots on this particular lot, but they were already platted.
That's correct, yes.
Separate lots, so and the house was actually built in the 20s. I looked that up. There was a brief information provided by the applicant on his application, kind of his thoughts about the variance and the setbacks and the lot size. So Mike, if you'll edify that a little bit for us.
Yeah, that's correct. Just for clarification, I do have this as 1211 Spring Creek Road, I believe it is, and not 1207.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
I was gonna ask that question.
That,
Okay.
then,
Yeah, I had to flip back to the.
Then that was my
Okay. Yeah, so this property is
oh, I
located.
got you. I see. It's 1207 was the house, was where the house was, and this is the subordinate lot. I got you. So it's 1211 Spring Creek
Yes.
Road. I got you.
Yes. So this subject property is on a corner lot within the R1 district. As Mr. Leach described, it being a lot of record and having these 65 feet, it does require a 25-foot setback from Prater Road. There are numerous corner lots within this subdivision area here, the Highway Park subdivision, that a lot of these corner lots do have a 10-foot setback. And normally this 25 is really just in case for site visibility, for that matter. The applicant, Brian Hinton, is seeking a variance of 15 foot that would require or provide a setback 10 feet from the required 25. The property was surveyed in Penn, and the front yard is exactly 63.65 feet, as originally noted in the 1926 survey.
So, okay, on the little site plan I got, it says possible residence on the site plan. It said 16 foot to the side yard, which would be a 9-foot variance. So is it 16 feet from Prater Road, or is it something else?
That would be Mr. Hinton's.
Okay,
Yeah.
we'll get that in just a
Yeah.
minute. So that's, and this would be a 34-foot wide home proposed on that, with a 10-foot on the west side and in the east side, according to the site plan, 16 feet, and 25 foot back from edge of right of way on the front. Okay.
That's correct.
Yeah, I think everybody in their packet has the drawing about the home, proposed home, and you have a drawing with by Robert Cagle, surveyor, that shows all 3 lots, and they were platted lots on this Highway Park subdivision, which is kind of interesting. We have both of ours from Doniter, that same subdivision.
It was very peculiar to have this.
Yeah.
It was very strange.
And that house, existing house, as I understand it, was built in the 20s. So but it's on lot 2, it's not affected by this request. And Mike, is 25-foot setback from the front adequate enough to make sure the sight distance on the corner is good?
The way Spring Creek actually makes that curve right there, I do believe so. We would just have to, as the building department, pay special close attention to if a fence is ever erected in that area, that 25 by 25 foot triangle section there isn't impeded by for sight visibility. If you're,
I was a little concerned about, people parking in the front area of that. I do see a gravel drive back there, but that could go away. I was a little concerned about, because if a person's parking a van or a big truck on that front 25, it may impair sight distance on that corner. So, just a thought.
it is a fair assessment. A larger vehicle would create some sort of sight visibility. Of course, it would be out of that sight visibility triangle that recently discussed,
Right.
that 25 by 25.
Right. So the way the drawing that they submitted shows a driveway. That was where I was going with that question. Is if I got it the right direction here. It shows a driveway in the front yard. So I'm assuming you would be parking there. We can ask the applicant that, but on this drawing here, it does show a driveway. I think that was my reason for my questions. If you park several vehicles there, you might knock some of that sight distance out. And the sight distance is basically for the corner. So, anything else further, Mike?
No, I believe that this house will mimic the house that Mr. Hinton built at 1207, I believe, which is a very nice home. If you guys did have a chance to go out there and.
Okay, Mr. Hinton, if you would approach and give us your name and your address, please.
My name is Brian Hinton. It's nice to meet y'all. So, I guess I'm just requesting a variance because the lot, well, as I described in the detail there that I wrote, the lot at the back is 60 feet, or I mean, the whole length of the lot is 60 feet. If you're measuring perpendicular to the sidelines. And I feel like this is a unique case because, or fairly unique, because you're not, like the angle of that road is probably not going to repeat in very many other situations on the front line, causing it to be longer. I'm not entirely sure why that's kind of the defining bit, but I just figured there's probably, since it is 60 feet, maybe there's some room to discuss it. That's why I'm here today.
Well, one of my questions was, it says 25 feet on your drawing, on your sketch drawing.
Yeah.
And so, but the way the front lot line is just angled. It's got the angle. So where's that 25-foot measure from? Is that from the point, that's,
It's the northeast.
Spring Creek,
yeah, is that,
Sorry?
where Prager meets Spring Creek, is that the point you measured?
That
for the
is.
25 foot?
Yes.
So that's the closest point.
So anything beyond that would just be more, additional to the 25 foot.
so is everybody following that? Yeah, because, okay, well, if you draw a line across
Foot back
from that angle,
So like right here, so
that'd
you
be-
measure from this
Yeah.
corner.
There's more
Right.
distance over
Instead of
there.
this,
yeah, right.
that one right there,
It's an odd cut.
yes.
Well, that's the way subdivisions were done back in the day. Okay. Is that clarification correct then in your?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're measuring off that east property line 25 foot back for your setback.
Right, the northeast property
Okay.
corner.
So the other question is, based on your site plan, you were gonna do a 16-foot setback off that east property line?
Yeah, so, I'm not requesting the full, 25-foot setback.
That's
I'm-
probably a good thing.
Okay, just,
Yeah.
just that, I feel like I could, what my goal is to kind of match the rest of the homes in the neighborhood. They're all single story, 30, 35 feet wide kind of, homes. And, so I'm trying to just kind of match the look, of those. And I feel like he was talking about sightlines on that corner. The orientation of the home is such that it kind of, the garage sticks out towards Spring Creek, and then there's kind of like an indentation before you get to the front porch.
Right.
So your sight lines are kept open a little bit more the way it's kind of
So is there garage on the front? Is that what you're
Yes,
saying?
yes.
Okay.
Single car garage on the front. It's where that drive accesses off Spring Creek.
Well, you see what I was saying though, if you got your driveway there and you've got visitors in there parked all the way to the edge of your property, then you could interfere with some sight lines,
Mm.
possibly. And it is an odd shaped lot, I mean, we see this quite a bit, and that's one of the characteristics of a valid variance is when you do have a odd shaped lot, so.
Mm.
Mike, anything else that,
Well, worst case scenario, as we were discussing about the site visibility on there with that second drive coming off Prater, might be advantageous to the house be set back a little bit further to eliminate any type of site visibility. Brian, does that make sense on you?
Sure.
Just 25-foot visibility.
well, you got a lot of depth on that lot too, so
Sure.
you could.
So I'm not opposed to setting the lot or setting the building back more. Just whatever.
And that'll
whatever
be,
the recommendation is. I'm
I
happy to
think
go.
that'll be their call. I mean, all we're looking at is a side yard, but if you get approved, then Mike's gonna be able to vary that setback more than 25 feet. I just want you to know that he might wanna do that.
Sure, that's fine.
So what you're saying there is that the variance in the front lot would increase if we granted the variance?
Well, the variance is only on the side yard, so the sight line would increase if they pull the building back off of Spring Creek a little bit, because you've got a lot of depth on that lot.
But that would be something they can,
But that's something that administratively they could do that, yeah. We
Yep.
wouldn't have that in our,
Yeah, Mr. Hinton, once he's got a plat of this, so if we went out and measured off Prater and Spring Creek and developed that, 25-foot site triangle, he could move his house to, without me you even have to come out and saying, hey, this is good,
okay.
because of his site visibility, just making sure you're off that, especially if you're putting that second driveway in there.
Right. And that's what I was worried about. I just know how cars get parked in driveways and they don't move, so. Okay. Okay, anything else you'd like to add?
No, I don't
We
think so.
confused you enough.
That's good.
We do some of our best confusions up here. Anybody else from the board wanna ask, Mr. Hinton a question?
I did have a couple questions.
Okay.
I think this is really clarification from my part, but so sidewalks, how do those, this is from the road, right, not the sidewalk, so that's, I see there's a sidewalk along that road, and that would be part of.
Well, that's probably in the right of way. The
Yes.
sidewalk is in the right of way,
Yes.
so everything's behind the sidewalk.
So the variance is from the sidewalk?
Right.
Okay, that's good to know.
Generally, you can tell where the utility poles are located, that's on the edge of
And there's
right of way.
Another pole and a fire hydrant, I think, on
Yeah.
the sidewalk there too, so. That's what I was curious about as well, so is it, being in the right of way there is even behind that fire
Right.
hydrant? Okay.
The appearance would probably be much greater. Usually it's 5 foot to 10 foot off pavement to the edge of right of way, generally, but you never know. You just have to look at the maps and determine that. Yeah, good question. Anything else?
Great clarification. The other, no, actually, I just asked about that. That'll work for me.
Anything else? Anybody?
Yes, you own that adjacent property as well?
Yes.
So is the driveway for that adjacent property going to be blocked off from this one? I'm just concerned about whether or not people are going to have a one-way in driveway and then backing out onto Spring Creek Road.
Yes, the driveway, I believe it shows it coming off Prater Road and kind of carving a wide arc to parallel the existing home, and that's already been buried, the connecting bit of that. There's a little bit of gravel there
Noticed y'all
still.
were doing some
When
work.
it's all done, it'll end up being lawn. It'll be a back lawn for this house, and there won't be any drive there at all. Did I confuse you? I'm sorry.
Yes, yeah, there won't be a driveway at all.
There won't be a driveway going to Prater.
That's right. There will be one, but it won't be that one.
Yeah.
It'll be the one that I've got drawn on the
Gotcha.
It won't be the existing gravel driveway.
All right.
It goes away.
Yes.
Mike, did you say in these area there were other corner lots that already kind of had that 10-foot setback?
There's many in that Highway Park subdivision.
Yeah, if
Just
you'll-
due to that width, that
Yeah.
being less than 60 foot.
Yeah, some of them, and I didn't go through and measure them all, but there are some that are within this range as well. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and this is, like I said, both cases tonight are from the same subdivision, and they've got fairly narrow lots, all of them.
So from the general neighborhood standpoint, to go from 25 to 16 foot, it would not be uncommon for kind of that area of East Ridge.
Right.
Any other questions of Mr. Hinton or for Mike? Okay, I'm ready for a motion unless there's some more discussion up here. And as Mitch stated, it's a 16-foot setback, which would be a 9-foot variance from edge of right of way.
Given that it sounds like the neighborhood does have this kind of variance, and this is an odd lot, and it really is that I feel like even depending on the day you measure, it could maybe feel a little different. At any rate, I'd like the motion to approve the variance.
And it's based on the fact that there are others in that community that are similar.
That it seems that other similar lots in the neighborhood have been granted the variance. The visibility to whether or not that variance is granted, I feel like that driveway would still have that same visibility issue. So that's kind of where I'm at.
Okay, so we have a motion to approve based on the fact that this is not an exception in this area. There are others similar to that. Do I have a second to that motion?
I'll second.
We have a motion, a second. Any further discussions? And the variance restated is it'll be a 16-foot side yard which is a 9-foot variance based on the fact that there are others in the community in that similar situation.
For 1211? Spring Creek
Yeah,
Road?
for 1211, we'll get it right.
But actually, before I take the vote, the application does say 1207. That's just because it's the house on the lot, right? Or
The older house, the adjacent houses, yes. Did you bought all three of them?
Originally, it was just single home, and then I
Right.
revived those old lines.
But
and
they
so-
were separate lots.
They were separate lots, yes.
And
And
Seth's-
so that one that's there, when I initially applied, had not had its address assigned to it. So now it does.
So this is for 1211? Okay. Have a motion, a second. We've had discussion, all in favor. We have no objections. We have somebody in the audience that's, okay. Okay, we have no one in the audience in opposition. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. It's been approved. Now, you'll have to work with Mike and get all that straightened out, particularly about the setback on the.
All right. Thank you for your time.
Off the front. Okay, good discussion, guys. Okay, we have a second case. I hope we get this address right this time. It's VR 26-5, Dennis King, 1306 Adonna Lane, is requesting a variance from the side yard setback on both side yards as stipulated in Article 5, Section 200, R1 Residential District, 202 Height and Area Regulations, subsection D, and there shall be a side yard on both sides of the building of not less than 10 feet. So, the way I understand it is, he's requesting a 5-foot variance for both the north and the south property line. Mike, do you have any updates on this one?
Yes, there again, this is R1 zone property, which is, there again, another small lot. We see many of these lots within the city of East Ridge that are 50 foot wide. This one's no different, which was the typical lot size, and I think this is also part of that Highway Park subdivision, which was platted around 1926 in March. There was a fire at this particular house that was heavily damaged, resulting in the demolish of this structure. Mr. King is seeking a variance of 5 feet from the required 10 feet side yard setbacks. In doing so, this would keep with the characteristics of the existing homes within that subdivision.
Mike, okay. I spent the afternoon with me and my calculator trying to figure out how wide this lot was. Is it a 50 by 160 foot lot?
Yeah, it appears
Or
from
60 by 160?
Dennis Gore surveyors, it is 50 foot wide by 161.
Okay, that was close.
Yes, sir.
And the existing house it was on, there was a 30-foot wide by 30-foot long approximately.
That is correct, yes. Yeah, that was my mistake on my introduction there. I missed a 1 on that. I apologize. 160.
So the original house had a 10-foot setback on both sides, right?
It appears it had on the south side, I think it is, a 10 foot. It showed the old foundation on here, then a 7'7" side setback on the north side of the side lot line.
So on the south side it was, they had 10, and then the north side it was 7. Yeah, okay.
So I have a question, it burnt, correct?
That is correct, yes.
So is there a grandfather status if he just wanted to build exactly using the same foundation size that he could build back even though it might not meet today's standard?
Unfortunately, there is not, from the amount of destruction, and since the house was removed, it adheres to the brand new regulations adopted in '89.
Yeah,
Yes.
because usually you have a time period too to make that happen.
Some type of frame, like if I'm gonna build, start reconstruction within 100 days, you know, can I build back using the current or the size of the foundation, even though it doesn't meet your setbacks?
I can't remember exactly in the ordinance, but generally if it's totally destroyed, then you start over, basically. So,
Yeah. So this was a legal conforming to its district, so it had, it followed all the parameters of the district itself. Now, we've had some in the past where obviously they didn't meet the setback requirements of today. Of course, there wasn't damage in this fashion where they were able to utilize the foundation with the engineer's report saying, hey, this is suitable for a brand new structure using the old existing foundation. This particular one's not the case.
yeah, the original house was apparently built in 55 or something. It said about 1955, so. In the plat, what was that subdivision, I could never find the date on that. Was that in the 20s, that subdivision?
Yes, that Highway Park subdivision, it was platted in 1926, March of 1926.
I never could find that, Mike, so you're good.
Yeah, I believe it might be in the packet. I think I had a highlighted one, but it's so small that
Yeah.
it's incapable of reading. Yeah, I don't have it. I'm sorry.
Okay, so the house originally on the south side met the 10-foot, and on the north side, it was 7-foot-ish or so. Does anybody on the board have any questions for Mike?
Do we know the case of to it, having, if that got any damage to, I guess that's part of, at least my concern, decreasing that variance is, you know, regarding a fire in that area, that other house, as I noticed, was pretty close. It looked like that house on the south, right?
My understanding is neither the house adjacent to this property received any damage, and there might have been some siding. If that's the case, there was some vinyl siding on there. It might have been heat deformed. But as long as you maintain at least 5 foot from your side lot lines in the building code and the residential code, you're not required to fire rate those walls. Now, if you're in a 3 foot phase of that to a property line, then yes, you'd have to have a 1 hour rated exterior wall on these.
His request is to go from 10 foot as required by the current ordinance to 5 foot.
That's
on both
correct. Yes.
sides.
Yeah, Mr. King is here if you have any questions.
Yeah, we'll get to him in just a minute. Any other questions for Mike?
Mike, how would a 5-foot variance on each side, how would that impact first responders? So if there was, say, need again for fire?
As long as you have in a new home, you're required to have your emergency escape windows at a certain size, whether it be 5 square feet or 5.7 square feet. It wouldn't interrupt fire operations by any manner because those codes are in place right now to be able to get somebody out of a house. The code does require, we amended it to require 2 egress doors on a house, where on the building code is only required to have 1 per the IRC. So we have extra things in play. That way, you know, firefighters are able to access these areas. But 5 foot that's a typical. I think a lot of Chattanooga has that area as well. These side yard reductions.
Part of the issue, though, and that's a good point, good question. If you got your HVACs, you know, your heat pumps on the ground and they're into your side yard setback, all of a sudden you don't have much of a passage, and somebody puts a fence up, you know, your emergency management people have a heart attack about that. So
That is 100% correct. That's why when these are adjusted to the 5 feet, the builder needs to pay close attention where those HVAC units are setting at. They need to be at the rear of the house instead on the side yards, because there is some requirements as far as how far that can project into a side yard as well. So it does limit your areas where your HVAC can be placed on your side yards.
and you're watching that for us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I had measured and I finally came out with 50 by 160, so I was pretty close on that. Like I said, the original house was built in 55, post-war. And I looked at a lot of them. They've been added on to. A lot of them been added on to. Some of them are getting tight on their side yards. I couldn't tell much about this one since the house was already on the ground, so wasn't much I could tell about it. Any other questions for Mike?
So if you granted the 5-foot variance, could you stipulate that the HVAC unit had to be front or rear?
Our code itself, or the IRC, would require that HVAC to be in the rear of the property.
Okay.
Yeah.
That may be out of our
Yeah.
I was wondering if
our
it would be
authority.
better. I figured it'd be building code,
Yeah,
but
that's a good point though, and I used to fight that all the time when I was working in my real job. But the problem was they put the HVACs and then somebody would want to put a security fence up, and
you might have 2 foot there maybe.
you might not have. You can't drag the firefighters couldn't get their equipment anywhere near that side yard. So anyway, okay, thank you, Mike. Mr. King, would you approach the bench and also give us your name and your address for the record?
Dennis King, 765 Deach Road. This property is at 1306 Adana. And Joseph Ingram Board did a survey on it, which you guys, I believe, have. And it shows 7.7 feet from one line.
I didn't get that survey.
I found the plan at just point by get just a one foot setback on that side, pretty much to meet the existing house that was there.
I don't have it.
It's not in your packet?
Wait a minute. I'm hopeless. Okay, now that would save me a lot of time this afternoon.
You said you were calculating.
I did.
Well, I wondered when he said that, I thought, wait, let's look at the drawing.
No, I didn't get this, I didn't.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Considering the depth of this lot, have you a plan in mind for
I-
this
I do.
already that
I've got-
requires the 10-foot
I've-
or?
I've got a plan. I've got a couple plans with me. Actually, one that's 36 feet, which we need to be at to meet what was there, we need to be at 33 feet. And I found one that's 34 feet. That'll fit on that lot really well. It's still a deep house. It's 60 feet
Yeah,
deep.
that's building the house across the lot rather than deep.
Building, well, it's still gonna be deep. It's, the house that was there was 30, basically 32 and a half.
Okay.
This one would be 33 and a half is the one I'm actually asking for. So I'm not asking now for a 5 foot on either side. I'm asking for a foot, or it'd be 3 foot. But from what was there originally, it would be only a foot.
Yeah.
Foot wider than what was originally on that lot. Because the one that was there didn't meet setback. Obviously, that was for zoning probably. I'm assuming back in the 50s, whenever that was built. Because I know there's several over there that doesn't meet current code.
But what you're saying is 5 foot is adequate on the north side and the south side?
No, I'm asking for, I guess would be the south side. I'm only asking for a 3 foot. Is that correct, Mike? I think it'd be a 3 foot on the south side. The 10 foot's fine on the north side. The south side, we're asking for a 3 foot variance
Okay, the variance is 3
from
foot.
current code.
Okay, so it'd be a 7 foot,
Yes, sir.
7 foot, that's not right.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. 7 foot, variance.
I got a north and south front. I get confusing that. It's on the south side. On the north side, it would stay at 10 foot.
Okay, so your application was saying you wanted it for both.
Yes. I found a plan in the meantime.
Okay.
that
So you
would
found a
work.
plan that
I
would-
found another plan. Yes, sir. I have. I
Okay.
was
So
searching.
so the variance is only for the south.
Yes, sir.
And really, it puts you within, I mean, the old foundation was 10 feet on the south side, which was fine, and 7.7 on the north. So you're basically saying 10 foot and 7 foot.
Yeah, yes, sir.
You just need 3 feet.
Just 3 foot.
You just need an extra 3 feet to build that.
That's correct. Yes, sir. And 1 foot difference on what was actually there.
Yeah,
It just-
what was there before.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Do you have anything else you'd like to address?
Not
the
at this
board?
time, unless you have the answer to ask any question, answer any questions.
It looks like the old, like, just pulling up images of the old structure since there's nothing there now. The driveway went on the south side
It did.
and kind of went down beside the house.
Yes,
Is
sir.
that still kind of the plan?
Driveway would stay exactly where it's at. Yes,
Stay
sir.
where it is? Okay.
So these new homes also are built, our code has changed dramatically, to say the least. From 1955, it's complete, they're built completely different.
So if the driveway will stay where it is on the south side, you just need a 3 foot variance on the north side of the property.
No,
Yeah, yes, sir. That's
I thought
correct.
the north was 10 feet.
It was
No.
what, sir?
The north is currently 7.7. I mean, the old foundation was 7.7, but the driveway's on the south side. So if the driveway's staying the same, you just need 3 feet on the
Okay,
north
well-
side.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
I wish I'd had this map.
Easy,
Made it
to say the least.
Yeah, it made it.
So you're with the variance, you're almost building a house on the same exact foundation.
Correct, that's correct, yes,
Within
sir.
a foot.
Pretty within a foot of the original
Which
foundation.
the original had the HVAC on the short side of the house.
We'll put it on the back.
So,
I
you'll
I
say,
understand
yeah.
fire code. Yes, you gotta put it in the back. So that'd be the worst. Somebody get injured. 'Cause
So even with a 3 foot variance, you'd still have more space for
That's
first
correct.
responders than they have.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so the north side is the variance, 3 foot variance. And Mike, is there any issues on the north side as far as 7 foot setback?
There's not.
Okay.
The fence on the north side and everything is still existing
It is
from the
existing.
neighbors. Their
Yes, sir.
fence is still.
It's still intact, and I don't believe there was any damage to my. Yeah, I know you asked about the houses over there. I don't think there was any damage, which shows a lot of gump for our fire department, right? Truly getting over there that quick, because they didn't burn those houses down that close. A lot of times you have problems. Some of the reaction time must have been really quick.
Okay, we've heard testimony from the applicant, thank you.
You're welcome.
Mike, Anybody else, any questions for Mike or any, general questions from the board?
I don't feel that I can vote on this.
Okay.
I knew the woman who died in that house.
Okay.
And I feel like I just can't make a decision.
Okay.
Regardless of who lives in the house now. I knew her personally. I think anything we could do to make it safer would be good, but she was a hoarder and lived in a house that was bound to have some issues.
Yeah.
So,
Well, thank you for sharing that. Anybody else have any questions or points? Okay, I'm looking for a motion then, for approval or disapproval, and the motion would only entail the north, side of the home, proposed home, and a 3-foot variance, leaving a 7-foot setback. So do I have a motion?
I'd make a motion to approve.
Okay, and the motion to approve is based on the fact that, it's essentially the same as it was
Yep,
previous.
it's essentially the same footprint
As it
within
was
less than a
previous
foot.
to Fire,
Yeah.
okay. Do I have a second on that motion?
Just to confirm, this is a 3-foot variance on the north
Right,
side.
correct, which will give it a 7-foot setback.
I'll second.
We have a motion, a second. We have one abstention. Any other questions? All in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
And we have the one abstention, and no, okay. You got that?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, now you work with Mike on
Yes,
this project, and make sure you're on that, the HVAC system, and it does go in the back.
In the rear of the home. Thank you,
Okay.
guys.
All righty. Yeah, I struggled all afternoon trying to figure measurements out. I didn't,
No, I didn't get
I
that.
don't know. It could still be in the printer. I don't know. Okay. I did get we do have some continuing ed we did. Last time was really neat because we went over to that venue, 1921, and thank you for hosting that. And it was really a beautiful building. And so anyway, has everybody got their continuing education information? We talked, both these houses, and we talked about how old that subdivision was in the 20s. We got a lot of those scattered around East Ridge and all over the county, really. And we talked about it's kind of a term of art when we talk about existing lots of record, and there's some definitions in the. I got Mike to send me some information about when the previous ordinances, the city zoning ordinances have been approved in '63 and 1973. And basically, a lot of record, that means that a lot that's recorded at a time, and it's at the time it was recorded, it met all the standards of the land use law, whatever that happened to be, subdivision regs or zoning ordinances, or it could be, I guess some communities could have standards placed on deeds. I've seen that before. Anyway, the versions of our ordinance before we have this current ordinances were called cumulative, and if you'll flip over, I think Melissa did we've had, this is an oldie but a goodie. We've had a cumulative ordinance, which means everything just kind of stacks on each other. Single family being the highest use, heavy manufacturing being the least, and the ordinance until 89, basically in the city of East Ridge, was a cumulative ordinance, which caused all kinds of problems. And now we have a non-cumulative ordinance, which means you can build certain things in a single family zone, but it cannot be commercial, or used to in the ordinance in East Ridge, you could actually build offices in the residential districts and apartments in residential districts. So it was really a cumbersome ordinance to kind of deal with. So anyway, we got this, the ordinance we got in 1989 was the non-cumulative type. And so I was trying to look at how it defined lots and lots of record. And you know, kind of midpoint down here, talks about a lot of record as a parcel of land with dimensions of which are shown on a document or map on file with the Register of Deeds. And basically, in our ordinance, it specified a specific date when something becomes a lot of record. And so that was 1973, actually, the way the standard was adopted. And so anything after that has to meet zoning and subdivision regs for a legal lot. There's not a lot of, I mean, I've seen all kinds of different ones. I was going to give you a first-hand personal account of one. My son and daughter-in-law decided to build a house in St. Elmo. And St. Elmo's got a historic district, which is another layer. If you got zoning and subdivision, then you got the historic district layered on top of that, which makes building there very cumbersome. But they found a builder who said he had a lot. So I said, oh, that's great. You can get to build a house. And went and looked at the lot, you know, and then I looked at the subdivision plat, and I saw that there was no lot number on that lot. And the lots on both sides of this lot had lot numbers, but this one did not have a lot number, which told me it got recorded as a deed, but not replatted like you're supposed to do. So I thought, okay, is the building department going to hold this building permit because it's on a lot that's not legal? Well, the lot had been a lot for purposes of taxes, property taxes, probably 60 years. So you had a lot that was not legally developed that's been paying taxes for 60 years. So I was pondering what in the world could happen there, and they could have turned down that building permit because it was not a legal lot of record. And they decided the building permit people issued it because it had been of record by deed all those years. And so that's what I call lots of record term of art, because a lot of times they just don't fit into a category easily. You see all these specific cases that are not all absolutely by the book, by the ordinance. So I mean, that's why we have people like us that sit on boards of appeal and make some decisions, sometimes trying to figure out if a lot is a lot, like the house that was built that didn't conform to the zoning ordinance. At the time, it probably didn't conform to the zoning ordinance that's on that second case. They probably just didn't measure it, or they didn't have the plat was already recorded, but they put the house on it and said, well, that's close enough. And so we'll see a lot of that as property gets redeveloped in East Ridge. We're going to see a lot of that because these lots of record are out there, and Mike and his staff has to determine if that was a legitimate lot of record, or did they record it last week with a deed, and it was supposed to be platted, which means it's drawn and surveyed and recorded, or did they just get a quitclaim deed and then somebody buys it, unbeknownst to them, it didn't meet the standards. You know, it could be too small, or you know, it wasn't platted correctly. So anyway, my kids did get to move in after dealing with the Historic Zoning Commission several times. I had to go up there, but they were granted a building permit. So, but nothing. A lot of times these lots of record, term of art, don't fit easily into the ordinance. So, do you have any questions on that? I was trying to make it simple enough because it's not simple.
Yeah, it probably confused me for a good while, but both of these it said lot of record on.
Yeah, it was that 1922. It it was interesting. Both cases were interesting for me. One of them, the first one, had 3 lots. They were 3 lots of record, and they built the house on the middle lot. So you had lot 1 and lot 3, and lot 2 was the one that had the house on it. But I've seen them when they build them across property lines, okay? And I've got a house that I bought in East Ridge that built across the property line. It's 3 lots. House gets built on 2 lots. So, I mean, they're all over the place. And the builders, like in the second case, they just went out there and they were, you know, back in the 50s, they were building houses post-World War II. They were building houses as fast as they could build them. And they saw this plat. It was most of them were used to working 60-foot lots. These were 50-foot lots. So they get all confused. But the first one we dealt with was classic, and had, you know, 3 lots. They built on the center one. Fortunately, they got in where they needed to be, and then the other 2 were just vacant lots until they got bought, and now they're getting developed. And then you got to squeeze a house on these 50-foot, 60-foot lots. The zoning ordinance in Chattanooga, probably Hamilton County too. In sewers, you can have 60-foot lots. Single-family lot, so.
All that's fixing to change. We're currently rewriting our zoning, the whole book.
I'm glad I'm not there anymore.
The whole book for our new planning
Oh,
department that we have.
yeah,
The zoning's being updated. We have a new district section and our flood regulations. But FEMA's gotta approve that first, so they've got to approve the whole.
yeah. I've written a lot of this stuff, and you cannot cover everything in every situation, and that's the problem.
Mainly it deals with that Plan Hamilton they
Yeah.
adopted. So they've gotta adjust our zoning to enforce what they want to enforce in that.
Well, I should talk to you. I'm on the WWTA board, so. I think that board's.
It's a fun time right now.
I think that board's gonna get active, because there's a lot of, I mean, I appreciate people coming in and infill lot development. That's great. It's great for East Ridge. And, a lot of the development that was occurring out in the county has now been stymied because there's growth moratoriums and building moratoriums and such, so. I don't know. It's an interesting time that we live in. Okay, so much for that. Anybody else have any other questions? Do we have any cases for next month? Okay.
Yes. We will have one for next month.
One, okay,
Just one.
okay. Okay, anybody else have any questions, any thoughts? I'm looking for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Okay,
I'll second that.
okay, we're adjourned.